Thanks for checking out another one of our videos. We've got about 400 and something, give or take, videos on YouTube of electric fence boxes on how to fix things, how to test things, review videos, all sorts of things. If you type in YouTube, a particular model or brand or whatever, I probably got a video out there of it. We're an independent shop that works in electric fence boxes of all kinds of ages and styles and all sorts of things. All the information about us is down in the description area. If you hit the little drop-down arrow, there will be a little link down there to our websites and our Facebook page and my email address. But if you don't know how to do that, here's some of the information right there. There's a website, fencerfixer.com, and our address to ship things to. We do free quotes. We work on all brands and ages. 1.5 year warranties on the repairs that we do. Lightning is part of our warranty that we do on our things that we work on. Well, let's get into this thing here, and we're going to do a how-to video. I can't find the paperwork on this one, but something about no output or very low output. This was working fine. The guy said he's had it for a long time, and it's been working great up until recently I had a big storm come through, and now it's not working right. So we're going to plug it in and see what it does. This is a Gallagher M1500. It's the old style. It used to be a really bright purple, now it's kind of a gray color because it's been around a long time. 110, 120 volt. So I'm going to plug it in and just see what happens. Now, can't really see it, but the green light's coming on. It means getting power, but it's not clicking. Okay, well, that's a weird one. Now it's missing the screw, so we don't have to worry about the screw anymore. And then you'll need a couple flat screwdrivers. And however we're going to do this one, this repair that we're going to do this thing is not every unit's the same repair. I mean, there's like 5, 6, 8 parts inside this thing, so who knows what's wrong with it. But this will kind of give you an idea of what we do on repairs and stuff. We're going to pull this thing apart here. And all kinds of crap inside here. Capacitors are rolling loose. Little strap here. Ooh, well, there's a problem right there. Pull that board out real quick. That wire right there, right by my finger, that's supposed to be plugged into something. And it's not plugged in. Well, since we plugged it in and it didn't click, it's a possibility that these capacitors have a charge built up in them. So what we're going to do first is we're going to discharge. I'm going to take a big resistor. I'm going to go across the 2 terminals of the capacitor and do it to both of them. That will discharge any of the energy that might be built up in there. But that could be why it doesn't pulse. That wire right there could be the one reason why it doesn't work. And you can see it's been arcing right there on this one. See the black stuff on there right there. So, but we're going to test them and see. All right, to test a capacitor, you need to have a meter that can do it. You don't have to have this particular one. This is the one that we use, a Fluke 115 is what we use. The capacitor symbol is that little yellow symbol right above my finger. If your meter does not have that symbol on it, you cannot test a capacitor correctly. So I don't care what other ways there are, but that's the right way to test it. So these are a 30 microfarad. They are if you look at them, they are a pulse grade capacitor. They're made by Plessey Ducon in Australia, which isn't around anymore. But we're going to test across these. There's no polarity to these capacitors. I mean, they kind of look like they do because they've got black wires on one, red wires on another, but that's just to keep the orientation when you wire things up correctly. So I can put my red wire in the black wire in the red, and we'll still get the same reading. All right, that one doesn't read anything. So now we're going to go across here. That reads 16. And double check this one real quick. If you're unsure, we'll go black to black, red to red just to prove a point. See, nothing, so it doesn't matter. So, needs new capacitors for start. And with these being Plessy Ducon branded capacitors, these are probably the original ones. And holding them, they can feel like they're pretty lightweight. Like you can tell that they've kind of wore out. This one of them read 16. It should be reading 30. One read nothing at all. So how long have these things been bad? Imagine a long time. For quite a while, they don't just, they gradually get worse, but they don't just go from good to bad real quick. So these both going to go in the junk, in the trash. And we're going to install a couple of new ones. So we got a couple of new capacitors to put in there. I'm going to test these just to show you what they're reading. I don't even realize. I don't know if that reading came through or not. It might have been a bad glare. But we're going to test these capacitors. One reads 30.4, 30.3. The other one read nothing at all, and the other one read like 16. And these capacitors are wired in parallel, which in capacitance, when you wire capacitors in parallel, that adds them up. Resistors and light bulbs and things like that, when you wire them in series, that adds them up. But capacitors, when they're in parallel, they add up compared to resistors that when you wire them in series, it adds them up. So capacitors are a little bit different deal. Alright, now for the heck of it, we're going to just check a few other things before I reinstall that board again. We're going to check the primary and secondary side of the transformer. The primary side of the transformer on this one is down here. These two wires are a black and a red one right there. No matter what color wire it is, there's just two tabs there. So you're going to go across it, and you're going to be on ohms, which is that little omega symbol right there above my thumb. And all transformers and electric fence boxes anyways, all should read 0 to 1 ohm. 0.3. So primary is good. That means if this unit works, it should click and be able to discharge through the primary because it's just a closed loop. Now secondary side on the output of the transformer is right here. There's a tab there and a tab there. The board can be on or off. It won't matter. And you're going to keep it on ohms. It should be, I think, around 11 ohms right here. 8.2 transformer might be bad. Just for the hell of it, let's pop this board out of there. There's a little black tab right here. Kind of pull it back, put a screwdriver next to it, and kind of lift the board up. And then kind of go down right here between the black case and the green board and kind of push it away from your fence and ground terminals. Now we're going to ohm across it now just to see if maybe that board's got a problem. Oops. Come on. 8 points. I think this transformer is going to be bad. We're going to install this board back in there. We're going to, the board lit up, so we'll see what happens now. It didn't click. That was probably because the capacitors were bad and that one capacitor was unplugged. So let's see what happens. clicking now. It's a good sign. This unit should be probably 7 to 8,000 volts out of it. Reading 6. I want to check one thing. Pull this board back out again. This is your lightning protection board. All these yellow things are part of lightning protection, as well as these diodes that are on there. So this is a lightning protection board. And I mean, it does take the power from the transformer and spits it to those terminals, because it's got that little voltage divider thing on there for your half power. Plug this back in. We're going to go across the transformer with the tester. It should be 11, 10 to 11. Didn't go much higher. I don't think the transformer's working like it should. Because you usually get about 11 ohms across here, and you get about 8,000 volts, or between 7 and 8. And we're only getting 6. So the transformer's somewhat okay, but not getting near what we should. So we're going to temporarily change it out. Unplug these wires. Now be careful, because those capacitors there have got a big charge built up in them, so don't freaking touch them. Oops, pulled the wrong wire. Because these capacitors will hurt a lot worse than this charger ever thought of. It won't kill you or nothing, but it definitely burn you and hurt like a sumbitch. All right, let me go grab another transformer for that unit. Now, Gallagher doesn't make transformers for this model anymore. But luckily for us, we've got custom-made transformers for the 1500, made specifically for this unit. So this went to Gallagher. They told you, well, transformer's okay, but it's on its last legs. And then, you know, if it goes out, you know, you're out of luck, because we don't have the part anymore. They don't make it anymore. And Gallagher made their own transformers in-house. They didn't outsource them to China or whoever else. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to pull this transformer out of there. You can see it's been changed at one time. It's a 2008 transformer. And there's a serial number of the unit. The serial number on the front of the case all wore off, but there's a serial number of the actual units right there. That's before 1999. After 1999, they went to a date code, but that's older than 1999. So those capacitors are, 25 years old. Transformer was about 12 years old, and it finally went kaput. But you can see the transformer that we're going to use is basically the same thing. There's that, you can kind of see it right inside there. That's that bobbin core for the transformer. And here's the bobbin core for this transformer. It's the same thing. But we got wires coming out the top where this has got tabs. On the primary side, this transformer looks like this. There's your secondary side. There's a primary side. We got wires, a black, red wire coming out, where you had black wire, red wire plugging on here. So it's basically just that lower half is what we've got. So now we're going to, I got to crimp on some spade connectors, a couple female and a couple male spades. So we're going to twist that up. Twist that up, and I'm going to cut off the a little extra on here, exposed. So I'm going to cut off a little bit of that. And then we're going to crimp right on there. Primary side, or secondary side, I mean. twist those wires up. We're going to cut off some of the extra. Crimp on a couple of male spade connectors. All right, and we're going to feed this transformer. We're going to slide it in. There's two holes at the bottom. We're kind of underneath there. Come out this side. Kind of line them up and stick them through the little holes. There's one wire. There's the other wire. Kind of get them up and over all the other wires. And then you can turn on its side. Line all them little tabs up. Little metal plates, little laminations. There's that. Need this stack of plates. Go right in front of here. Take this clamp and you got the short side, the long side. Short side goes down here. You want to do that first. A little opening right there. Snap that in. And you can't press it by hand. With the thumb, take a flat screwdriver, go between the white piece and the black case and kind of push it like that and snap on there. And then you need a pair of needle nose. Black wire was down here at the bottom on the far left tab. I've worked on probably thousands and thousands of these fence chargers of this particular unit, so I can almost do these things blindfolded. All right, now we'll take these two tabs. There's sleeve there and a sleeve there, so you got like a front and a back. So there's a front wire and back wire, so front wire's going to go right here. Back wire's going to go right here. And just so that way they stay in place better. Just kind of squeeze down on those with a pair of pliers or whatever. Now we're going to slide this back in there. Those wires back a little bit out of the way. Ow. Now for the hell of it, I want to check the ohms on the top side of this transformer again on this one, just to see what a new one reads. Reads a lot higher than it did before. All right, plug it in. Fence test our output of the fence charger. There we go. Now we're reading good. Before it was reading 6,000. Now we're reading 8.4. I knew it should have been between 7 and 8, but somewhere in that range. So now we're reading 8.3. So now it's working like it's supposed to. So just to see what kind of spark it jumps. So now, I was just saying 75% new on the inside, roughly. I mean, this board's fine, output board's good. I mean, you can repair these boards or buy new boards. You can repair these boards, you can buy new boards. So, I mean, all the parts still made for these things. I mean, I usually fix these boards, these big boards, versus replacing them because they're not cheap. They're over $100 for a new board, 100 and something, 130, 150 bucks for just this board alone. It's a $500 unit, give or take, nowadays. So I guess 150 bucks for a new board's not that bad, but you can fix it for a lot less. That's the way you should do it. So this one's all done. So I'm gonna slide it back together. Write the estimate up for the customer. Call him up, tell him it's gonna cost to fix it. I'm sure he'll do it. And then we'll get this back to the customer. So hopefully you like this video. This was a fun one to work on. I like working on these old Gallagher's stuff. I mean, these things are really well built. So if you've got an old school unit like this from like the 80s, 90s, early 2000s of a Gallagher, that's the cream of the crop for the Gallagher stuff. That in my book's probably their best generation of chargers that they ever made. So their new ones now, built last like 2, 3, 4 years, seem to be really, really well built, but only time will tell with those units. But right now, those seem to be really well built on the new Gallagher stuff. Don't get hardly any of them in. So I would say the new ones are doing pretty good. But anything from this 80s, 90s, early 2000s of Gallagher, Speedrite, Parmac, Stay-Fix are all really, really well built. So, but, well, if you ever have a need for a repair or need help troubleshooting, give us a call. Look us up on our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/fencerfixer. Go to our website, fencerfixer.com, and like our video and hit subscribe. See you later.